Hmm. Hi there, your favorite nobody. And I love Jello. In fact, I make Jello. How are you doing? Just a quick video about something that crossed my mind. Something that was part of a recent insights discovery activity we did at the company I work for. In essence, they were trying to ascertain what kind of character a person is based on keywords. And they're doing this mishmash of Jungian and some other both outdated and new modalities of thinking, trying to figure out if people can be put into these general boxes. At the start of the meeting I had, they were asking about a word, just a word that describes us or how we feel in the moment. And I said anxiety, and that was the first thing that came to mind. It was anxiety. I bleed anxiety. I am a natural born warrior. I worry a lot. I'm not very comfortable in situations or scenarios where I know nothing. I like to be briefed about things, yes. Just like everybody else, I am a sucker for comfort. And the funny thing was, at the end of the entire thing, turns out I both consciously and kind of unconsciously, I seem to be fairly good natured. I lead with my heart more so than my brain, but the brain is second. I like detail, but I also like to know how people do in general, and I feel for people. I am not that outgoing, and apparently I'm not very pushy and I'm not very aggressive. I mean, the red line is really low. But in between those states of conscious and unconscious, I seem to be spending a lot of energy in managing red, again, anger, desire for people to be brief sometimes, or just cut to the chase, or kind of not having time, or just being dismissive and so on. And then the person leading these conversations, she turned to me and said, "Oh, Sean," which is how people refer to me. Yeah, we don't. You don't really, with your word, you don't really fit anywhere. You don't really fit in any of the boxes. And yes, oddly enough, the word anxiety was just nowhere to be found on their silly graphs. But by that point, I no longer felt anxious. In fact, I was in fairly good mood. I was very comfortable. I was, some might say, even enjoying myself and kind of wanting to contribute to the conversation and almost chummy with everybody. Which is what I said. I said, it's fine because I no longer feel anxious. Now I feel confident. I feel energized. I feel strong. I feel everything else. I also feel warm and fuzzy on the inside because if I'm not afraid, I'm just warm and fuzzy. That's what I am. So I thought about it and I thought about my recent awareness of thumbnails and video titles on YouTube. So I decided to do the following. To make sure that you don't waste time clicking on videos, going forward, I will make sure to make sure. I'll say that 50 times until it's there. I'll try and label my videos in a way that's more visually suggestive of what's going on. I'll be using red, blue, yellow, and green. Red will be stuff that's reactive. Blue will be stuff that I think I know what I'm talking about. Yellow will be mostly fluff. And green will be my attempt to be positive about something, or even talking about my health and well-being. Because I think it is important to start making these distinctions, and instead of trying to figure out how to get somebody's attention, I'd rather help anybody interested in anything I do, not in everything, just in anything of what I put out there, to be able to easily distinguish from the stuff they might not be interested in. I'll give you an example. If you watching this now have also seen my first videos in the series of Healthy by May, my personal fitness journey, you might not really care about my opinions about video games or some other blogging stuff or technology in general that I have to say, that I have to say. You might not be interested in that. You might just want to know, how is this silly man doing with his fitness goal? Fine. Going forward, you would more or less know when the title starts with Healthy by May and the thumbnail has a green outline, then you probably know, yeah, okay, this is what I need to see. I don't need to see anything else. If you see red, you're like, oh, this person is reacting. Maybe they're upset with something. Maybe they have very strong opinions about a subject matter. And maybe that's what you want to see. Maybe you want to see something that, again, stirs something inside of you, something that's more emotionally charged. Although I'm not really a huge fan of such content. I think it's way too easy to make. It's way too attractive to others. But it's just feeding something that I don't like in online communities. And then if you just want to hear me talk fluff about a video game that I've played or some impressions of something, again, that will be in a yellow thumbnail. You'll look at that and you'll be, this is more of what I want to see. Or it will be like, I'll never want to see anything with a yellow thumbnail again. And finally, blue. Blue is tricky because I don't do much how-to stuff on the channel. But I feel like this can kind of go there. This can kind of fit in my how-to guides. And we can call this, how to spare other people from getting confused, and how to save them from feeling like they've been clickbaited. Not to anybody else's content, to my own stuff. Yeah. And that's what I want to do. I'll still get the tagging and I'll still try and make the titles only 50% attractive. But I think the thumbnail, something that people click a lot on, I will make sure that it's clearly defining, it's clearly labeled, so you know whether it's something of interest or not. Thanks for listening. Time for this old man to go and make himself some spaghetti carbonara. And now every Italian that hears this is probably facepalming, but I love your food. I love food. I'm starving. I'll see you next time.